where highly rich, superficial white kids from Southport goes out there on the marina, and they're being tormented by the killer who's emulating someone that was from the past. And the original cast is back out, and it's a horror thriller that borrows from nitpitty with it. What did I think about the film? Did I like it? How does it measure up? Was the movie everything people said it was? Did it deliver? I said it delivered if you want to say it's better than the sequel that had Jack Black as the white Jamaican guy. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But yes, better than that sequel. Better than, I think they had a remake. It was better than that. So it could definitely be a credible sequel. But stupidity in the last final acts. Now, in this film, you have these superficial women who are with the only unsuperficial women who used to be superficial till she went into drug rehab and all of these different things. End up staying in the town, joining some cult church, and blah, blah, blah. As far as predicting who would be the slasher killer guy, it was quite obvious for me before I even seen well, no, when I saw the trailer, I knew who the slasher would be. And I said, I hope it's not. But I know they're stupid enough to do it. And as I watched the film, I said, yes, this is what they're doing. Now, you might want to say or ask yourself, why? Like, why is this the case? But then if you watch the rest of the old previous movies to this movie, then, it all makes sense to you. That they wanted to make money, and this is the best way to make money, is to have this reoccurrence every now and then involving this film. This horror franchise has continued to plague the entire movie going theater. It's a good place to take a date. I give it 2.5 stars out of 4. They borrow from Halloween H2O with the tense thing with the pulling up. I've seen Conjuring 2 borrow from that scene, which was the best scene in the Halloween H2O movie, is when she was pulling herself up in that little kitchen pantry. And he was there, Michael Myers, in the kitchen, and he's trying to get her, and she's pulling herself up. Yeah, that was an intense scene. And that action scene was shot very well. So now, when we come to this, we have a similar scene where this woman's pulling herself up, and all of a sudden, this happens. The ending is so unbelievable and so predictable. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, don't get mad at me for grading this 2.5 stars out of 4. It's just that the characters really are missing. The blending of old to new is pretty essential. But when you have Jennifer Love Hewitt reprising her role, obviously you don't want her to be the star of the movie because, it kind of, yeah, negates the point of what you're trying to do. Plus, you don't want some, almost 50-year-old running around out here. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want a 40-year-old woman with your mother, children, and all of these things running around out here trying to escape. It's almost crazy as Leslie Nielsen is almost 70, running around being an action star. It's just like, what are we doing? Now, to take this craft very seriously, you have to be ready and submissive to all of the things that many people have seen before. And once everyone's here, we're going to all be together in one. Well, I didn't see it that way. I saw this movie as I watched it once. I don't need it again. It's a good movie. Take your girlfriend, stick your hand down her shirt. I'm not suggesting that teenagers. I'm just saying. You're not going to care about this movie. Now, there's some twist at the end, like after the credits. So please stay to watch the end credits because it's actually the end of the movie where it goes even more ridiculous. So, I mean, hell, at this point, they could bring back Mekhi Phifer. I mean, if you hadn't seen the movie, I thought I did this review already. That's how uninterested in this movie I was. I was just like, can we please just get to the reveal? This is like a slow burn. They give you the obvious killer that everyone's gonna assume is the killer because you've seen this guy in other movies be the killer, and you go, oh, okay. So I'm supposed to jump on board with him. Yeah, yeah, that's obvious. The movie's leading you to this guy or girl, depending on what you like seeing, and when it don't turn out to be that, all of a sudden, yep, things just don't go your way. Ah, well, I can't blame Jennifer Love Hewitt and her limited time on screen. The majority of her shots is her sitting down because they don't, God forbid, they see that she's gained some weight, like people naturally do when they get to their 40s and, she's not 20 some years old anymore. So naturally she's gonna gain weight. Whoop de damn do. But when you start involving all of these characters that don't really mean anything, it's just that when you have an interesting character, it's like, okay, we have to kill them off. Men are all bad. Boo, boo, boo. Right? We got to make sure all the men, are useless. And the women have all the power. We're all strong. So once again, they get a letter at a party. And she's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Someone sent us this letter. They know what we did last summer. Oh my God, this is a bummer. Well, it made it like you weren't even there because the dude's father is like the mayor of the town or the sheriff, and he pretty much runs the town. So his son is involvement in it, and all he said, all y'all got to do is just shut up about it, and then it's all done. And someone sends them this letter. I know, they need to pay for